Hello, and welcome to day 42 of 100 Days of Bad Videos. Have you ever started something and wanted to quit, but something inside of you wouldn't let you quit? Now, me personally, I've had several things throughout my life where I started and I really wanted to quit. And for the most part, internally, it was something that wouldn't let me, but externally, there were things and people who would also not let me, whether it was by my parents telling me you're going to finish no matter what, or me not wanting to let people down. And when I said I was going to do something or complete something, from when I was in school, specifically when I was in school for my aircraft mechanics license, there was one class that was a beast, and it was metallurgy. And I struggled with that class, struggled with that class. So much to the point where I actually failed the class once, my first time taking it. I had to retake it and I wanted to quit. That was one of those times where my parents said, yeah, you're not quitting. But then there was other times that when I was in the military going through this, I was like, why am I doing this? I had every opportunity to step away and quit. And they gave me this, like, you don't have to be here. If you want to quit, and whoever wants to quit, you're more than free to quit. But something inside me would not let me. Well, that's something inside you. If you've had that, that's something inside me that would not let me quit. All that is self-motivation, which is the third quadrant of emotional intelligence. So self-motivation is the force that keeps pushing us forward. That internal pressure, that internal drive to achieve, to produce, to develop, to keep us moving forward. That is self-motivation. We all have it. We've all felt it throughout our lives. It's because of that we are able to move forward. So when you look at the last two quadrants that we looked at, which was self-regulation and self, wow, can't believe my brain just left me for a second. Self-regulation, I'm gonna have to actually go back, and self-awareness. Once we have those two in play, so self-awareness, of course, understanding awareness of ourselves and the things that we do and how what we do affects other people, both internal and external. Self-regulation, how we regulate our moods and our emotions throughout things. Now we have self-motivation that will tie it all together to move us forward, to push us forward, even when we don't feel like pushing forward. So what are some tips or some things if you think you lack self-motivation? How do we add that? Well, I was reading a article, and I believe it was Corsica, where they came up with 11 tips. And I was just like, wow, I need 11 tips. And I was just like, this is not, the 11 tips aren't bad. It's not something that you will use every last one of them, but it was enough of them in there where I was like, okay, this is good enough. Well, I may use one or two, or I have used a couple of these over the course. So I'm gonna share those with you right now. So the first one is putting a goal on your calendar. We all know that's a great one. I need to do more of that one, but definitely that is a good one. Then making your working towards a goal a habit, creating those habits. When something is a habit, is easier to do, like doing these videos. This is actually becoming a habit for me at day 42. It's becoming a habit. Planning for imperfections. Setting small goals and building momentum, tracking your progress. Reward yourself for little wins as well as the big ones. So that's one of the things that I'm working on, is definitely rewarding myself for the small wins, giving myself credit. A lot of times we wait until we have something big to celebrate. Celebrate the small wins, the moving forward. Embrace positive peer pressure. We get a lot of peer pressure. We got a lot of things thrown at us, both negative and positive. You got to figure out a way to block out the negative. But as you're blocking out the negative, filter it through, because it may be some truth in you that you need to hear. It's just the way the person is presented is coming across in a very negative manner. So don't just block it out. Filter it before you block it out. And then we have in practice gratitude including with yourself. Definitely be grateful to yourself. Do mood lifting, change your environment. And at the end of the day, the best self motivation that you could do is remembering your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you pushing forward? Why are you putting yourself through these motions? At the whatever that core why is, you have to remind yourself of it. So that's the talk on self motivation today. I will see you tomorrow. And before we leave, as always, life gives you two choices. You can either run with the big dogs or you can stay on the porch with the pups. My name is Aaron Allen, and I choose to run with the big dogs. See you out there running.